Let's see on the computer models, you can see how they all kind of meandered around. This is pretty much a worst case scenario as far as flooding goes to have this sit here. This is goes back to Tropical Storm Allison that happened in the Houston area back in the 1990s. That's why this rainfall is so prolific. You can see the yellow areas maxed out again, basically from 37 north and east. That's where the heaviest rain looks now, but it's still going to be heavy here in town to the tune of about 4 to 6 inches of rain. And this is just ballpark. This isn't sealed in stone. Bottom line is we're going to get some flood-provoking rains. Future Tracker shows that we're going to see off and on showers this evening. Not a big deal, but again, worth noting. And then the rain starts to pick up here around noon tomorrow. And then as the system makes its way inland, it's going to be bad, especially the northeastern section. Now, if the path of this changes, if it were to move a little further south, it'd be worse for us. If it were to move just 25 miles further north, it would be a little better for us. So that's kind of what we're looking at, and those are the wild cards in this, and that's still the uncertainty. And the Weather Center and the Chris 6 weather team use that word often on Monday and Tuesday, and even yesterday, uncertainty, because that's the nature of tropical activity. And now this storm has gotten ahead of us, and it's really gotten out of control as far as the significance of it. Here are the northerly winds, the northeasterly winds. This is indicative of a landfalling hurricane north of us. Here's tomorrow at 5 o'clock. These are sustained winds. We could see gusts close to 70 miles an hour along the immediate coast. Gusts, not sustained, at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So that's why anything that you want to do as far as rushing things to completion, you need to do now. The winds then at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning out of the north, and then they continue to meander around the region all the way through Saturday afternoon. So late tomorrow and Saturday is going to be really bad here. The further the north and east you are from Corpus Christi, the worse it's going to be. And south and west, the less. You know, Falfurrias, not so bad. Freer, Hebronville, not so bad. Rain-wise and wind-wise, that's the way it's looking right now. If any of this changes, of course, our digital platform will have all the information. Of course, we'll have it with our live broadcast right here, too. These are some of the gusts. We're just going to run through these. Close to 70 miles an hour, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 116 mile an hour wind gust. Most houses in Corpus, a lot of houses in Corpus Christi start to have problems at about 90 miles an hour, 90 to 100, some of the older homes. This is why evacuation orders are being issued. This is serious. And as far as Saturday goes, you can see the winds turning around. That's the storm stalling up to the north, so it's still windy here on Sunday morning from this. So a hurricane warning is in effect. Yesterday it was a watch, now it's a warning. And that means that you need to take action. Now's the time to move, to do something, to protect yourself, your family, your property, and make a good decision if it hasn't already been made for you to evacuate or not to evacuate. A tropical storm warning is in for these inland counties, and obviously if you live out in Duval County, Brooks County, McMullen County, or further inland, you're going to be much better off from this storm than here along the coast where the storm surge warning is in effect. That's going to be high tides and high water above ground level. And I think we're talking, Juan, what is it now, 4 to 8 feet? 5 to 10 feet now is what it's gone up to. Flash flood watch, obviously in effect. That's going to end up being a flash flood warning with this. And the forecast, Harvey downpours, and it's going to be dangerous. It's Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. The worst of all this is going to be late Friday and into Saturday afternoon. So between, say, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening and noon on Saturday, that's going to be the worst. That's when I think getting around is going to be impossible. And outside of that, it'll be better, but still dangerous. And we'll have to work with it from there. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this 24/7. We're here for you. And Drew and Stephanie, if you have a question, I can come over there and I answer for you, or I can answer it from here.
Yeah, Dale, we have not dealt with a storm like this for many, many years. Tell us just about, I mean, we talk about the seriousness of this storm and why we need to take it serious. You remember how bad the last storm we had that came through here was, right?
Well, the last storm that was like this in this area was Brett. And that was in 1999. It was on August 22nd. And the 18-year anniversary was just a couple days ago. That was a very small storm. This is a larger storm. The difference was Brett went in south of us, which you would think would be bad, as a Category 4 hurricane. But because of the fact that the hurricane force winds only extended out 25 miles from the center of circulation, it wasn't that bad here, but it could have been. And it was just that one little feature. That's every storm is different. That's why they have names. They're just like people. They have personalities, and every storm is different. The last storm is not going to be the same as this storm or the next storm. But that was the last time we had a hurricane warning and hurricane warning conditions in the coastal bend was with Brett, but it only extended out 25 miles from the center. So we had a wind gust in Portland of 100 miles an hour from that, and about 58 miles an hour at the airport. But that was it. So it didn't end up being that bad here, but this is not that way. This is going to be worse in terms of, this is a much bigger storm than Brett was, much bigger. And the only thing that's different is, besides it being bigger, is the fact that it's going to go in a little bit north of us. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and thank you.